Hello and welcome to a new episode of the Hotel Marketing Live Show here on LinkedIn. It's Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, where Tamara is, 5 p.m. Central European Time, where I am. And today I'm joined by Tamara to talk about all things digital marketing for the hotel marketing space. Tamara, nice to see you again.
Lovely to see you as well. How are you? Thank you for having me. I'm always excited to be here with you, Moret.
Thank you so much. Yeah, especially today's an exciting topic for those who maybe haven't followed the previous couple of live shows. It's all about presenting the hotel marketing space. So this is a new platform that brings together amazing marketing professionals to offer ad hoc services for hotels. So we have different sections on the hotel marketing space, and maybe I can also share with you the link so that you can check it out. It's marketing space slash shop, where you will actually see all the services. Now, the Hire As You Go platform is also divided into topics. And one topic, why Tamara is here today, because she's the expert, is all things digital marketing. Tamara, tell us a little bit more. Digital marketing for hotels. What is this big, complex, complicated field?
Digital marketing for hotels. I have to hats off to hotels because there's so many things that they have to consider in digital marketing. And I know, it is definitely, there's so, for them, it's so many platforms, so many channels, the OTAs, really making sure that they're leveraging their digital presence to drive people to come and stay at their hotels, right? No matter what part of the world they're in. And it's a huge undertaking for a hotel. And so I think I know what we're doing in the hotel marketing space is really trying to simplify things for hotels, so they really have the blueprint as to, what are the things that are important in digital, right? Many times when I'm talking digital marketing, people are always hearing social media, right? So that's the first thing they think about. And hotels as well too, right? Everyone likes the likes, everyone likes the follows, but when you're pulling a plan together, how do you make it strategic, and how do you connect the dots back to those heads and beds, people coming to stay at the hotel? And that's definitely a bit of a challenge. And what we're doing in the hotel marketing space is really looking to pull together the important pieces, right? The pieces that matter. What are the numbers saying? What do the numbers mean? How are you collecting leads? How are you really engaging people to get to that place of saying, I want to check out that place. The other thing in the hotel space is that there's so much competition, right? There's the competition right around the corner from you. And then, of course, there's the competition online, right? And that competition is insane. So it's really making sure that hotels are prepared to show up in the right spaces so that their potential audience and their ideal customers can really come to their hotels. And I think that's the main thing that we are working to do. And I love that we are working through different templates, the solutions that we're finding, the SEO, search engine optimization. How do people find them? The OTAs, the Expedias of the world, the Booking.com, there's that. How do they engage in those spaces, and how do they use social media effectively? So their website, right? Making sure that they have a great website, that booking engine, the user experience. As a hotel marketer, again, it's a lot to consider. So we are going to really help them navigate what's important, understand where they are in the space right now online, and how do we move them to that place where their online presence works to drive their revenue, and again, to get those people in the hotels.
Absolutely. And from all what you said, it is very clear that this is not something that only I am doing, or you are doing, or any single person is doing. There's really a team of very smart people behind this space. And for each task, because digital marketing is, yes, it's just two words, but it's so many aspects, as you just said, right? So someone who might be very good in social media might not necessarily be very good in OTA performance. Someone who knows a lot about website content might not be the best for SEO, for instance, right? So for each and every service, we have a very great mind who will deliver this service. Now, in this pilot phase, we are focusing on some very specific services to start with, right? Step by step. Would you like to talk to us a little bit about which services we have online right now that are already bookable?
Absolutely. The first of all is the assessments, right? Those online quick assessments to understand where you are currently, right? Where are you currently, and where can you grow to? So an assessment is something that allows the hotel to really see, hey, when I compare myself to the competition, I am ranking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the case may be, and here are the 5 things that I need to do to get to right on par with that hotel. And then we also look at the things that say, here are the other things you need to do to differentiate yourself from the hotel. So the assessment really gives you those baseline numbers to understand where you're starting and where you can grow to and where are those opportunities. The other thing we're looking at is
what do we assess? So we assess the content. We have a website content assessment, right?
There's a website content assessment, understanding, that content assessment. Are people coming to your website and are they spending time on your website, right? Because we spend a lot of time creating content, right? Everyone is a content creator. We're content creators now. Everyone's a content creator and we create this content, but does it really work to drive bookings? Does it really work to start that trust building factor? So content assessments are important. SEO assessments are important as well too, right? Search engine optimization, because that goes hand in hand with your content assessment, because you need to make sure you have the right keywords in there. How are people searching for your brand, right? And how are they finding your brand? Where are you showing up? Everyone wants to be on the first page of Google. Now you can do that through advertising, but long-term, search engine optimization is really the place that you want to be, because that pays a lot of dividends in
and it's a pain, right?
Yeah.
It's a pain, because I know myself from my online source, from hotels, from different websites, no matter what type of websites you have, you need Google and you need search engine optimization. You just need it, right? It has to be one of your very top priorities, and it's a massive pain. So we try to make it easier, right, for hotels.
Absolutely. Because we'll have 2 different types of assessments. A quick, nice checklist of things, right? Things like the back end stuff, right? The metadata, the right keywords, understanding the search volume for those keywords, because that's important. But then understanding things like building links back, right? Because they're things that help SEO really push the SEO forward. So there's a lot of technical elements around SEO, but we're really going to simplify those things, especially in a checklist, to say, do you have these 5 to 6 things, right? This is the basics of SEO. And if we get you to the basics of SEO, then we can get you to that place of how do we push SEO to the next level, where you get more involved with writing blogs. Maybe for a hotel, it's writing blogs about the 10 things to do in the city nearest to the hotel, because as people coming to stay in a hotel, if they want to know, what can I do, right? They're not going to stay in the hotel the entire time. So what can I do? So how do you own some of those conversations around things that are adjacent to the hotel, restaurants, all those things? So there's really a lot of opportunity for hotels to own that conversation outside of just the basics. And that's how you really take SEO to the next level. It's really about making sure the content distribution, right? We create the content, and how do we distribute it? And SEO really helps with that.
We also assess the social media, the social accounts, right?
Yeah. So social media accounts, it's important to assess that, because you want to really understand, are people just coming in there to like and follow you, or are they taking more action? Are you leveraging your social media to build leads, to tell them more about the place? What happens in social media? If you post and you ask, hey, sign up for emails, are people signing up for emails? Is your social media presence even your target audience, right? Because sometimes we have looked at, people's online presence, their social media presence, and we recognize that that's not even your target audience. Those are the people who kind of, they kind of like it. So we want to make sure your social media presence is filled with your target audience and partners of people who can be advocates for your hotel.
So and it's a tricky one, right? It's a tricky one.
Absolutely. it's a really tricky one, but it's really setting up those metrics to say, when you place the right call to action, are you driving people to sign up for your email and then moving them through your funnel? So social media is one of those things. I like to say it's the hello at the top of the funnel, but how do you get people moving through that process? It starts with an amount of engagement, but it's really about driving them back to your space. So that social media assessment is so important, to even understand what is just happening with the presence in general. Using the analytics in social media, if we look at Instagram, for instance, when you jump into the back end of Instagram, there's so much data, so much information. It tells you the percentage of men, the percentage of women, what countries they're from. If a hotel has key markets, key market feeders, we should be able to connect those key markets back to what we're seeing in an Instagram or a Facebook, right? Or a LinkedIn, where whatever social media platforms you're using, Pinterest, whatever it is, we should really be able to say, hey, this is the right target audience, the people that will come and stay at our hotels, that aspire to come here, that this is what they're planning, right? So I think that's really the important side of leveraging social and the data for that. The other thing
these are assessments, right? So these are assessments, as you said. Now for the pilot phase, we have launched these 3 assessments: website content, website SEO, and social media as assessments, right? Of course, more services to come, but now still in digital marketing, we also have the AMA sessions, right? So maybe one could use an assessment, right? See, okay, Tamara said, I'm doing this and this well, but I don't know, something's lacking, points 4 and 5 and 6, 0.7 and 8 are terrible. I'm not doing a good job. So could they use an AMA as a session to maybe ask questions and dig a little bit deeper into a couple of points?
Absolutely. The idea is, we really want to make sure that we're connecting with the hotels. We're not just putting out templates or checklists so that you can go through this process, right? The idea is to be able to connect with them and share with them, here's what you can do and here's how you could do it. And, really give them the advice that they're seeking, because I can imagine how lonely it is out there, right? As you're thinking through this process as a hotel marketing manager, a hotel marketing director, right? Sometimes the teams are small in these grand hotels. So, it could probably be really lonely out there, and they may need that person to talk to say, I was thinking about this. I saw when I did the assessment, this is the feedback, but how do I move this forward to really drive results, right? Because those results are at the back of their mind all the time, right? There's a goal. every hotel starts off with a goal, so they know that they must be working to it. So how do we align the recommendations to really connect back to those goals and give them practical solutions that they can implement, or even help them implement if they don't have the teams to do that as well, right? So it's really that one-stop shop. You get the information, and then we also help you implement the information. We're there to advise you if you're looking to be advised, but to get you to that space where it's about thinking a little bit more in digital and really helping them to set that foundation for a strong online presence.
I like to think of it as steps, because what you just said now is very, very good, because it's like steps. You have an assessment. Maybe after the assessment, we see that you're doing an amazing job. Like, see you maybe in a few months if you want to redo the assessment. We're just right. You see that you have some issues or some things that you need some more information. Maybe you're doing a pretty good job, so maybe an AMA session will be enough for you to ask questions. Or you see that you really need help, you can book the consulting services, right? So there's really something for everyone, right? From the hotels doing an amazing job, they might even have already an expert who just wanted some reassurance, right? To the hotels that need some assistance, they might have a smaller team and they have just some questions. To the hotel where maybe they just lack the manpower and need someone to do the job for them, right?
Absolutely. What I like about the hotel marketing space is that what you've put together allows us to meet the hotels where they are, right? It's a judgment-free zone. We're meeting you where you are in order to get you to that next space. As marketers, we're also in a constant space of learning, testing. You talked a little bit earlier on about, the levels of expertise, right? There's like the marketing generalist, and then of course it's almost like a doctor's office, right? The generalist, and then there are all the specialists. So it would be presumptuous of us to assume that hotels have all this information, because we still go to specialists to help us. You know what I mean? So I think it's about meeting them where they are in a judgment-free zone to really help them get those presences to work for them. I think that's the big thing. Having an online presence that doesn't work for your hotel, that doesn't really help. It doesn't help you to get those heads in beds. It doesn't help you to get to those new markets that you're looking at. So leveraging that, I think, will get folks where they need to be. So we are meeting people exactly where they are, which I think is a really great thing with this.
And you mentioned social media. So social media, I'm looking now at when I look at that, so it's because I have my iPad. I'm looking at to remind myself what all the services we have now for exciting. Social media there's a lot also about content, right? So for social media, we might say that, for instance, you get quite some good engagement, but you could do a better job by just planning the topics in a different manner, right? We see that you keep posting so much about foods, people don't see the rest of the hotel, or we see that the captions aren't really very effective. So we can help them by, for instance, creating editorial plans every month, right? So they can purchase just that. And we can also help with content creation. And we can also help with the how-to sessions on how to create, for instance, Instagram Reels, right?
Right. Exactly. So we want to really arm the hotels with the right tools, right? How are they looking at their content strategies, right? The one thing is, when you get to a hotel, 9 times out of 10 times, the service as you walk through the door is the full experience. So how do you translate that into your social media so people feel a part of that experience digitally? Is your content working that way to drive that level of engagement where someone says, I must come here? They feel the service coming off of your social media profiles. So it's about really jumping in to understand, hey, are you set up to do that? And what does that content really look like? What are your content pillars that you can build upon? And then that's the other thing too. So we can teach you how to do it. It's almost like teaching a man to fish, or we can say we can do it for you, right? Give you ideas of the content. Yeah, exactly. Whatever suits you, right? Are we looking at reels, how to set up the reels to make sure that they are effective? If you're looking at TikTok, how do you use that to make sure you're effective, right? Finding your lane, finding your content lane for a hotel is going to be important. It's important for anyone, but finding your content lane, the thing that gets people to take that next step, that gets them to click, because that's what we want, right? We want them to start building trust and clicking and moving through our process. So we will be able to help you pull together and build community as well, because in social media, there's a part of community building that's happening. So is your online presence or is your social media presence doing that for you? It's really, we give you an opportunity to take stock and then to provide you with, these are the practical solutions. So the editorial plans, the social media strategies, pulling together that content for you, or even if you needed someone to manage your social media presence for you for a short time, until you can build, or even for longer, that's something else we're looking at as well.
We are very flexible. It's good that you say that. And actually, we have very good news, because now, Tamara, as I was telling you a few days ago, we also have Arabic-speaking content creators, right? And Arabic speakers who can write captions for Instagram, for instance, right? So we have different languages, and we are building the community, right? The platform of professionals. It's important also to localize, right? The social strategy, and of course, from our experience, you at Hilton, me at other hotel groups, we have the experience from luxury and lifestyle, and we very much know what the difference is, because I think that is key, right? The way a luxury hotel communicates cannot be the same as a design lifestyle hotel communicates, right?
Right. Absolutely. I think that keeping true to the heart of what the hotel is, right? That's where the real experience comes in that we're bringing to the table as well. Is we understand that each hotel is different. There's no hotel that's the same, but we understand those buckets, right? Is it, as you said, a lifestyle brand? Is it a luxury brand? Where are you? And how do we create that content to really target the right audience? And I think what comes from this is what we'll see is that people will become, the hoteliers we work with will become more and more and more educated about digital, because that's what we see right now when we're working with other folks. They become more and more educated about digital, and they keep pushing the envelope to ask for, well, what's next for us? How do we really leverage this online presence more? And as they start seeing those results happening, then it all starts clicking for them, right? Our goal is to help them really think in digital. I think that is one of the things that most people struggle with. How do you think in digital, and how do you use all these tools to think in digital and really achieve your business goals? Because that's what it comes back to. I remember one time we were working at, when I was in my former life before Monovan Digital, working with Dream Hotels in New York City. And, just working with them was really important to connect all these pieces so they saw the value of their online presence, and there was some education happening. But as we slowly moved through the process, they started to connect all the dots and really see how things work through the SEO, through online assessments, through the OTA optimization. We haven't talked about that a lot, but the OTAs are other travel agents. They are so important in the hotel space. So I think what you're doing here, what we're doing here with the hotel marketing space, is really going to be game changing for hoteliers, and I think it's going to help them really understand the importance of digital and give them the way to get the things that they need. Because I'm sure they're thinking about, how do I make this work? And we're here to help you make it work and get you to that next level.
I think the complexity really relies on all the different components, right? Because you need to pay attention to so many things. And but let's also be very honest, not every single thing matters for every single hotel, right?
No, no.
Even when we talk about social media, maybe for one hotel it does make sense to be active on TikTok, or another it makes more sense to be active on Instagram or LinkedIn, or the way they use social can be very different, right? The way they structure their website can be very, very, very different. There is no one size fits all when it comes to it. Also, we didn't really talk about, well, you didn't hint email marketing, because that's also digital, right? That's another very important channel of digital communication, right?
Yeah, I believe that email marketing is really the one of the biggest converters for hotels if they have the right database. If they have the right database, that's the thing that can convert. That's the thing that can get the market research done for you. If you're thinking about a promotion, you have a database of people that you can connect with, people that may have stayed at your hotel, people who aspire to stay at your hotel. Email marketing, most hotels right now, when they send out those big brands, when they send out an email, they're seeing revenue from it. So email is that revenue driver, and it's also the community builder that keeps you at the top of someone's mind, right? We look at social media, top of the funnel, but when you get into email, as people start moving through, you get to segment them out in different ways, right? Who stayed with your hotel before, and what are they doing? And what's that message that you're driving to them? So it comes back to the content, right? What's the message you're driving to people that have stayed there before? Are you a hotel that most people stay at just one time because it's a once in a lifetime experience? Or are you a hotel that people are saying, hey, you know what, we come back here every year for our holiday because this is where we want to be? Understanding those things about your audience and segmenting it. Email marketing can be as simple as you need it to be, or as complicated, as complex as you want it to be. Having those segments and sending out the right message to the right people, really, really important. Email marketing definitely doesn't get enough credit. We spend a lot of time on social media. SEO gets its credit as well too, but email marketer is a strong driver of revenue. So what does that auto sequence look like? So from the time someone signs up to get your email, what are they hearing about your hotel? What does that auto sequence look like? And we can help with that, right? That first interaction with the hotel. after they've interacted, what is the other flow, what are the other sequences of emails that they're going to go through? And those are things we can help with. It also ties back to your overarching content strategy as well, too, right? So we're not just sending out random emails. The content strategy that's developed, once we do something like a content audit, we make recommendations as to the content pillars that are best to support your goals. And then we look at that to say, how does this really connect back to email? Because you want to make sure that people are engaged with the right messaging.
Tamara, one service that we need to add sooner rather than later, and we do have some amazing email marketers on board, is how do you even create a database? Because so far we've spoken about you have a database, you have an amazing database, right? But what if you are a new hotel, you're a new restaurant, a new spa? Then we are in the hotel marketing space. We also think of hotels and of restaurants also and spas. What if it's a new venue, right?
Right.
And we have the talents to guide them through the building, right, of a database.
Absolutely. Because it's about, we talk about meeting hotels where they are. So if you're looking to start building a database, that's important as well, too. We can help you with that. We can help by starting to say, what's the email marketing strategy? What solution are we recommending to support emails, right? What's that email provider that is the best? And then also, where are you placing? We'll talk more about call to actions. Where are we placing that email call to action? Are we going to leverage advertising to build those leads? How do you really get people to that space of coming and signing up for your email, and understanding that you need to spend more time building that? Leveraging SEO is a part of that as well. So it's using all the other platforms and channels to help drive email and drive that database. Earlier
in certain parts of the world, we will also need to think about text messages marketing.
Absolutely. There are solutions, there are email solutions out there that have text messaging. Some parts of the world we may have to consider WhatsApp as well, too, right? So looking at where the hotel is to understand the best potential strategy for them. Nothing is off the table. And I always like to say that every marketing strategy should really be customized for that specific brand. Many times, I believe businesses believe that they hear the marketing formula, and here's this formula, take it, and this is the blueprint, you use this. Well, that's not how it works, right? We have to look at the nuances of that hotel. We have to look at their goals, where they're located, what's happening with them, to really be able to develop a customized strategy that makes sense for them and their customers, right? We cannot just take a marketing formula and wrap it around a hotel. So it's really important that we look at that customization and education too, because how do we educate hoteliers to understand how impactful email marketing really is? Because again, they could be spending a lot of time in that social media space, but once they start understanding, as I continue to build this database of people, as I start pushing out my message across whatever profiles are the right profiles for you, because I truly believe that you should select the right platforms for you. So if you decide it's on TikTok, if you decide it's on Instagram, how are you driving people to sign up for your email? And what's in it for your customer, right? What's in it for them? What's that experience that you're creating? So we want to help people think about email marketing as a tool that can really be that revenue driver, and not just a thing that you're using to send out this newsletter of, here's what happened in the past. It's really about that engagement and connecting with your customer.
And I know here we're talking more about digital marketing, but digital marketing also, the lines sometimes are blurred, right? Between some aspects of non-digital marketing, public relations, communications, copywriting, graphic design, because when we talk about email marketing, an email can also be a newsletter, right? Absolutely. We have also amazing people who can help with the design of a newsletter. If maybe you want a very customized design, something very specific just for you, that we have. You need help with the copywriting, we also have, right? So shouldn't see like digital marketing as just we're going to tell you how you're supposed to send out emails and how you're supposed to schedule them and so on, but we're also very happy to help with all the aspects that come with email.
Yeah, well, digital marketing cannot stand on its own, right? So I feel like we should just drop the digital and call it marketing at this point. Maybe we just do that. But we need all those players. We need the PR. We need the graphic designer who is really setting the tone, right? Because that's a part of the experience. What does that design look like? What does that email say? That's all a part of the experience for your customer. So it's important that we bring all the right players, and that's the heart of the hotel marketing space. We're bringing the right players, the right experience, people with the right experience to do the job. So if we're developing an email strategy, we have to then come and say, okay, who's the team that we're pulling together, right? The team of, as you mentioned, we need a graphic designer for this. We need a copywriter for this. We need, somebody who is developing that email marketing strategy.
So
So
we
the whole
are a team, right?
we are a team
We are the hotel's team or the extension of
of the
their
hotel.
department, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's where we really aim to be. We want to be the extension of the hotel. We want to be a part of their DNA as they're doing their marketing. And so they may not have the team, but we have the team. So once we understand, hey, you come in, you do an assessment, we now can say, here's how we can support you to get all our recommendations done. So it's the assessment to recommendations to the actual completion of it. And we're going to think through all the parts for you. You don't have to think through all the parts.
And they're a very nice team. We are not annoying. They just call us when they need us.
yes,
We do what
absolutely.
they want us to do. Job done. We are happy to disappear if that's what they want. They want to call us for another service. We do that. So it's really the reason why we are using these words hire as you go, because it's exactly that, right? You don't
Well,
have to commit for anything long term. You don't have to commit to a package of services. Let's say you only need one newsletter, that we will deliver, right? We're always a call away to help for that specific task where you need help. And
right.
very important, Tamara, we will discuss this a lot of times together, is all the networking, the education, where we will even teach you. Because a lot of junior marketers, they don't want us just to do the job. They want to learn. For instance, let's stay with the topic of email marketing, right? So would you envision like maybe we could have a networking event where an email marketing expert talks
Absolutely.
about these
Absolutely.
things, or
Yeah.
workshop?
Absolutely. So email, workshops are going to definitely be a part of it. A part of it. Pulling together networking events to have people who are subject matter experts come in and share this with junior marketers is important as well, giving them the tools, because they now might, then we can give them templates because they can start moving some of
Exactly.
those things forward on their own, right? As you said before, we're flexible here. So where are you and what do you need? And we take that into consideration. And those are the things that we'll bring forward in the hotel marketing space
So we're
around.
building a nice library of templates, right? That we can
Absolutely. A
already
nice, yep.
tell people.
I'm working on a few right now. So a nice
And
library of templates that people can utilize, and really good solid workshops. One of the workshops I'm working on right now is, really a digital marketing strategy workshop. How do you pull together a digital marketing plan? And then how do we do that for a hotel, right? So understanding the fundamentals of digital marketing and then working with hotels in that workshop to help them create their own digital marketing plan. And then from there, it's really up to them. Is this something you can implement? Do you have the resources? Okay, great. You have 50% of the resources, no problem. We can help you with the other 50%. You don't have any of the resources, we can help you wherever you need to go. But we're giving you that plan from and building it from the workshop. So, and these workshops, we're not looking at having 100 people at a workshop. We also want to find ways where we're spending quality time with hotels, and maybe they may have some partners. So we're looking at workshops that are about 5 people, so we can get to the heart of what are the problems, what are the challenges that they're facing, so we can truly understand that. On a high level, we understand some of the challenges they're facing, but in a workshop, we really get to understand the ins and outs of the hotel by whatever questionnaires we filled out. But by the time they get to that workshop, we're really talking their language, right? So it's about even some of the fundamentals of the workshop are, we have presentations that you'll be able to go through to understand more about digital. But in the live workshop pieces, we're talking about your hotel's experience. What does your hotel need? So that's why those workshops are so intimate, because it's about giving them the thing that they need and having them walk away with the thing that they need. I think that's the most important thing. That and being able to get them to a place of really driving results. So
and then they learn from each other, right? Like the 5 attendees can learn from each other's hotels, right?
Absolutely, right. So the hotel marketing space is it's there's a little bit of everything for your hotel, and you can really get the thing that you need. And I think if you don't see it on the website, it's either coming or you can ask for it. That's the other thing too. As we're going through this process and learning, right? This is, we're launching. We will start to adapt, right? Because if we hear, oh my goodness, what people are asking more about this, it's how do we adapt to create that new solution as well. So we're very open to taking in information. We ourselves are doing a lot of marketing, and the great thing in the earlies is about getting data from the hotels to see where their needs really are and how we can adapt what we have.
The lesson, this lesson I learned from the Airbnb co-founder. He always likes to say this on podcasts at the beginning: do things that don't scale, right? Like learning really from your very first customers and growing together with them, right? You know that the Airbnb the two co-founders at the very beginning, they went to New York and they literally knocked on the doors of hosts, telling them, well, we founded Airbnb, we want to know about your experience, and we'll take some pictures if you take pictures of your place that you can use on the platform if you answer our first questions. So that is really the approach now, as we are launching this very exciting project with some amazing minds that we will introduce through a series of live shows, as we are doing now, is really to learn how we can all grow together, the marketers and the hoteliers, right? And by hoteliers, not only the marketing people in hotels, maybe have general managers who would like to know more about marketing. You can have maybe F&B managers who want to know, housekeeping managers. I mean, it's really open to everyone who has some curiosity, right, to learn more about the best way. Because in the end, I tell you, Tamara, and I'm sure you've also seen it, in the end, everyone is an ambassador of the hotel, right? It's not just the marketer, the hotel person carrying the title of hotel marketing manager, director, or executive, or coordinator who is marketing the property, right? Everyone plays a role.
Everyone plays a role. So I think having some of the fundamentals of marketing, even having the general manager, the person at the front desk really understand more about what's happening in social media, what strategies are they using, right? We don't need to go into the crazy weeds.
And you know what, Tamara? Because just now you said front desk. I love that you said front desk agent. Front desk agent is actually the person who knows the guest best. Absolutely. Because it's the person who gets all the complaints, who gets the information. The concierge is amazing. Those all secrets, right, of guests usually. It's Absolutely. How can we use that? Because that's also data that it's an offline data.
Absolutely.
That we can feed into an online strategy.
Absolutely. So it's so important. While I was in college, I worked at Caesars Hotel in Atlantic City. So I was a front desk. I worked at the front desk. I was a front desk supervisor. We were the pulse of the hotel because that's where people came and that's what you heard. So how do you now let the marketing manager, the marketing director know, hey, you know what, having a strong relationship with the front desk and understanding what they're hearing, how are they logging those complaints? Because as hotels, they log the complaints. Well, who's looking at it? Is the marketing looking at it, right? Do you have a place that you're putting that? That should go to marketing, especially if you see something happens 4 or 5 times, because maybe there's an answer that can roll into that strategy. So it's really important that all players, and you're right, everyone is a marketer for the hotel. Once you work at a hotel, you're in marketing. No matter your role, you are there representing the brand. So what information can the hotel get from those folks, as well as how can you leverage them?
And what content? What content? Sometimes, restaurant managers can give you content for social media, right? So how can you how can you leverage the fact that they are in the restaurant the whole time, right? Where you're in front of your computer, right?
Absolutely. They're hearing the thing that people love the most, right? That's driving people to, like, oh my God, I love this. This was so great. They hear that 5, 6 times. That's great content, because if people are engaged with it from the very beginning while they're eating it, just imagine putting that forward in the preparation. People get to see behind the scenes. How do you share something like that online? So people get to see the behind the scenes of the preparation, what it looks like, watching someone eat it, right? So all of that becomes a part of that experience. So that's how you can leverage that, the restaurant or the restaurant manager, to add to your strategy. And those are things that we can really help with. And getting the restaurant manager, the front desk, into a workshop or into learning more about digital and marketing in general, gets their juices flowing. So they start thinking, this is information I could pass over to the marketing manager. This is information I could pass over
The
to.
skills that will definitely even help them grow in their careers. I mean, to have basic marketing skills is definitely not something bad to have. Tamara, for for these final 5 minutes, let's discuss what's coming next. So, do we agree that for the pilot phase right now, I see we have 15 services, right? Yeah, exactly 15 services. I think this is enough for the next few weeks, right? Yeah. Next month, maybe, to see how they go, right?
Yes, for us to do our assessments.
Yeah, exactly. And then during the course of the summer, we will add some more, right? So the pilot phase is this summer. We see how things go. We fine tune, we troubleshoot. So we have very attractive launch prices, precisely because we are learning together. We have a few AMA sessions, we have a few how-to sessions, we have the assessments, and we will be doing a networking event during the summer, right, Tamara?
100%. I'm excited about that. The networking event, I think, is something great, firstly, to launch the brand and let people really know exactly what it is that's happening. And then to bring and showcase some of the experts that we're talking about, right? We want to showcase the expertise so that hoteliers feel comfortable. They're hearing, okay, you know what? This sounds like something I need. Oh, these are the types of people. Because, you've spent a great time curating the talent for this. And I think we have to focus in on that, because that's important. We don't want people to think that this is a quick and dirty, hey, we have this thing, we're going to do this hotel marketing space. Moretta is really curating the right people. Okay, she is making sure that they are the best, and so I think that's important, and being able to showcase that in a networking event so hoteliers feel comfortable and feel confident. We're in a stage of building trust, so it's important that we showcase that. So I'm excited for the networking events, because we get to bring our people to the table and we get to give them something they can walk away with, right? I think that's the most important thing. What is that practical solution that they walk away with thinking, man, I got this from the hotel marketing space just at a networking event. What else will I get if I sign on? So we really want to spark that curiosity, spark the conversation, and bring the experts to you that you need. And also understand and ask questions. What else are you thinking? What other experts do you need to bring for us to bring to networking events so we can continue that process throughout? So the networking.
And also on these live streams, also we will showcase from time to time different people, right? We can maybe, I was thinking now when we were talking, maybe on a future live stream, we can have even more than 2 people, 4, 5, 6 people. And everyone has 5-10 minutes to introduce themselves, right? To talk about their expertise and their experience with hotels. Because I think it's good for both sides, right?
Yes,
it's always
absolutely.
good to know who is behind all of this, because so far they just see my boring face. Then they start seeing Tamara bit, Sadaya bit, they start seeing us from more people. They say, well, it's not that boring, right? Then when they see that there are more people, way smarter and more experienced than Miret, then it becomes all more interesting, right?
Right, absolutely. And you, again, we are building trust. So I think that's important, right? And I have to let people know that behind the scenes, Moret is really driving this forward from a place of such integrity. And I'm really excited to really be on board with you as we move through this process. The people that you're selecting, I can't say it enough. You're really making sure that they're the best, and we want to show that to hotels. We want them to have faith in us in the hotel marketing space, so that they know when they come to us to get their marketing done, that they're actually getting the best possible job, right? There are a lot of marketers out there, doing different things, but you really want people that are curating the experience. And then the quality assurance, that's the other thing we've talked about that Moret is really focused on. What does that quality assurance look like? What is that check and balance? So if an expert works on something, right, they work on a checklist for you, they work on an audit, there's someone looking at that before it comes to the hotel to make sure that it meets the standard. So quality assurance is also an important part of the hotel marketing space. And kudos to you for really making that such a focal point, because that is going to be the game changer in the long run. The quality assurance to make sure that the hotels are getting what they need. You've moved through this process from a hotel. What does the hotel need? Space. What does the hotel space need? What do they need? And that's how you're building this out. It's not really, what do I need for this business? It's what do they need? So that's something that I really want to call out. At quality assurance, you are going to get the best, and then you're going to have people double check it, triple check it to get it right before it even comes to you.
Yeah, now Tamara knows that, and I am also very direct. So Tamara and I are like,
Oh my God,
no, it's okay.
There's no sugarcoating with you. Moret's like, what's sugar and how do you coat it? She doesn't.
So sometimes I add a smiley to say that's all good. I'm like,
that's secret.
no, smiley.
Right. But it's important to set the tone, right? I think that's really important, because this
And
is
we go fast also tomorrow, because hotels don't have time, right?
time.
We're not, when we launched, so the services that we launch now, we can guarantee you book them, we say the delivery time, right? Very specific data,
right.
and that's
Yeah, we want to be prompt, we want to be on time. Again, we recognize that we're building trust with you, so our goal is to make sure that we pay attention to all those little details. Hotels pay attention to a lot of little details for their customers, right? It's the chocolate on the pillow, it's that experience as you get to the elevator, the music that's playing, the scent, all those things. We are moving from a hotel mindset, so we're making sure all those details are there as well as we pull together this hotel marketing space.
amazing. So I think the next steps is we will keep everyone posted on what's going on. New services coming as we go throughout the summer. Very soon, news about the networking event. Monthly newsletter to start with this summer. We might then, I think we will increase the frequency later on. But for now, step by step, we're moving gradually towards like the big launch then end of summer. So any questions, feel free to reach out to Mara, myself. We're everywhere. And Tamara, we need to close this by announcing our TikTok world domination.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this. Okay, so Moret and I are going to be on TikTok. We have a challenge. Okay, so for anyone that wants to join us, we are going to launch our TikToks on the 27th of June. So we both have to have 3 to 4 TikToks completed. And we're asking anyone that wants to join us. We're going to have a session with Fit with CJ, the TikTok subject matter expert, and we're going to start, looking at our strategies for TikTok. So the great thing is that you will see us also building and growing, because as marketers, we have to stay learning and we have to really, explore these new platforms. So we have our challenge together. So I'm excited about that.
We're going to be talking about marketing, so it will be interesting, right? So together we'll be talking about marketing, because that's what we do. In a different format, and as Tamara just said rightfully, I mean, we will be doing it step by step, growing together with you, right? With you who are watching us and following us. Tamara, thank you so much for this amazing live. There was so much information. I'm sure we'll be getting questions about the different services. I know, because we already are getting lots of questions, very good feedback. So yeah, we'll keep everyone posted.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome. I'm always a fan, Moret. So thank you for having me. And I love what we're doing with the hotel marketing space. And so thank you for really
Thank you
including
for
me.
being part of it. Thank you so much. And thank you to those who watched the live or will be watching the replay. This stays on my LinkedIn feed forever. So you can watch it, rewatch it as many times as you want. And we'll catch you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye. Take care.